If there's one thing that I just cannot stand in this world that really gets under my skin, it is hypocrisy. Being a hypocrite is essentially a synonym for being a liar. I don't like it when people say one thing and they do the complete opposite. For the past 12 to 18 months, ESPN has tried to sell themselves as the network of diversity. There was a time, believe it or not too long ago, when ESPN was trying to distance themselves from woke politics. That's the reason they got rid of Jamel Hill. Those days are long gone. There is a new sheriff in town at ESPN. His name is Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, he might as well be the president and CEO of ESPN. Whatever he wants, he gets. There's a reason for that. ESPN doesn't have anybody else. This network, which used to be a great American success story, is dying a slow, painful death. They don't have any talent. And Stephen A. Smith, he is driving the nail through the coffin. Ratings for Woke Take are not good. Stephen A. Smith will tell you they're good. We are number one in the morning on cable. Really? Really? I don't know what fantasy that he's living in. Woke Take is nowhere near the number one spot on cable television. Hell, they're not even in the top 25. First Take, they might be number one when it comes to sports programming in the morning, but there's only one other competitor. It's really not an accomplishment to be number one of two. Stephen A. Smith has been on a crusade to get more black head coaches hired in the NFL and NBA. Anytime a white coach gets a job, Stephen A. likes to claim that it's because of his white privilege. Anytime a black coach is overlooked, he claims it's racism. If it were up to Stephen A. Smith, there wouldn't be any white people working in the NFL or the NBA. But he doesn't have any control over that. However, he does have control at ESPN. And he is turning ESPN into BET, Black Entertainment Television. Stephen A. Smith is trying to form what he calls a dream team. He wants Mike Wilbon and Magic Johnson to join him on Woke Take. Now, there's going to be a rotating panel of guests. He wants Wilbon and Magic to be a part of it. He also wants Michael Irvin, Draymond Green. In terms of NBA coverage, he wants Jalen Rose, Kendrick Perkins, Jay Williams. Are you noticing a trend here? There is a new rule over at ESPN. No whites allowed. Look, I don't have a problem if Stephen A. Smith wants to turn ESPN into BET. I actually liked BET when I was younger. I really did. They had some good shows. I like Mike Wilbon. I think him and Stephen A. Smith would be good together. I like Kendrick Perkins. I like Magic Johnson, though I think he's terrible as an analyst on television. If they want to turn ESPN into BET, that's fine. My problem comes with the lack of transparency. My problem comes when you try to sell me that you are the diversity network when you're really the anti-diversity network. My problem comes when Stephen A. Smith bitches every time a white man is hired in the NBA, but he doesn't want to hire any white people at ESPN. The hypocrisy is what I have a problem with. Really think about this for a second. Take a look at everyone who has been laid off at ESPN or mutually parted ways with the network in the last couple of years. Kenny Mayne left because they wanted to drastically cut his pay. Now, ESPN didn't have a problem finding $12 million every year to pay Stephen A. Smith, but they couldn't afford to pay Kenny Mayne, who had been with them for over 25 years. 25 years of loyal service didn't matter. Kenny Mayne didn't fall into the demographic. Trey Wingo, Tom Rinaldi, Rachel Nichols, Mark Stein, Andrew Brandt, Ivan Maisel, Chris Peters, Trent Dilfer. What do all these people have in common? I don't have to spell it out for you. They just fired Rachel Nichols because she called them out for promoting Maria Taylor based off of her skin color, which was the truth. It was true. They moved Max Kellerman off of First Take, which was the right move. But they didn't remove Max Kellerman because he sucked at his job. If that were the reason, Max Kellerman would have been off the air years ago. They moved him because Stephen A. Smith wanted his people on his show. You know what would make First Take really entertaining? If they paired Stephen A. Smith with someone that had the opposite viewpoint. If they paired him with someone who wasn't woke, who was there to counter his race baiting. But they're not going to do that. No, they're not going to do that. They know what would happen if they paired Stephen A. Smith against someone with a functional brain. The agenda would be exposed for what it really is, a fraud. And Stephen A. Smith would lose all remaining credibility that he has. It is easy to do what Stephen A. does when you're sitting in an echo chamber. It's easy to cry white privilege, systemic racism. It's easy to pull the race card when you're sitting across the table from someone who won't disagree with you, who is equally uninformed. Like I said, the problem here is not that Stephen A. Smith is turning ESPN into BET. The problem is selling the network as the diversity network. Let's just call a spade a spade. It looks to me like ESPN is on its way to becoming the anti-white network. This is what happens when you allow your organization to become infected with the sickness. Every decision at ESPN is based off race. You cannot convince me Stephen A. Smith is not using race as a qualifier for his guest host on First Take. Magic Johnson was an all-time great point guard in the NBA, but he is horrible on television. They have tried this with him many times before. He was given a late night show back in the 90s. It bombed. It was god awful. He's covered the NBA before for ESPN and ABC. He was terrible. Stephen A. Smith is turning ESPN into his thing, and they are allowing it to happen. We'll see how it works out. Hell, it might work. It might work, but I doubt it. Because everything that becomes infected by the sickness, by the wokeness, ends in failure. All right, time to let me know what you think. Is ESPN allowing Stephen A. Smith to turn the network into BET? Do you think it's hypocritical that they sell themselves as the diversity network, but there seems to be less and less diversity at ESPN? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.